Hey everyone, welcome back to Reading Sprints and Choices. I'm your girl, Sasha Bonet, and let's get into my April wrap up. We have some DNFs, we have library books, we have books that I've read off my TBR. So let's get into it. Okay, so if you see me looking down, it's because I have my iPad here to make sure I don't forget anything. And this no longer has a cap, it is what it is. So I DNF'd 3 books in April. And I am still in a reading slump no matter how many books I read. And we'll put it on the screen so that we can keep count because I won't be. So, first up, we have Good Morning Love, which I no longer own. I sold it on Pengo, by Ashley M. Coleman. This book was about a young girl who, in her, let's say, early 20s, went to New York with $1 and a dream. And she's trying to break into the music industry as a songwriter. Right now, she just works kind of as, what do you call those people? Like, almost like a personal assistant to a bigwig, to a woman who knows how to get things done. I DNF this book because this character has already been through a relationship in the music industry, so she knows how things can go askew when it comes to your personal image, and if she's sleeping her way to the top, as women are often plagued with those thoughts and those narratives. And immediately there's a guy immediately that comes in, and she doesn't really even put up any fight when we're supposed to think she's done it and it didn't work out. She didn't put up enough fight for me, and I was bored. So that was a DNF. Court of Shadows by Madeline Rue, I got from the library, and I got to the 3rd chapter and was like, no, thank you. Not because of the book, I just did not care. So I closed it, returned it to the library, and unhauled the first book. It was only the second book in the series that I got from the library, and the first book was on my shelves, on my actual physical shelves that I had read like a year or two ago, and I unhauled that one. The Girl with Stars in Her Eyes. That would be this one by Zhao Axelrod. Now, this book right here, I don't like music in books. That's first. Second, something is supposedly, because I didn't get that far into the book, something happened when she was young between her and this boy that moved away. And it seems like, according to her, he left her in order to pursue his dream. And she hates him. Like, obviously, we know by the end of this book, she's probably not going to hate him anymore. But my thing is, you can't run into him and say, oh, I hate his gorgeous, handsome face. What? You don't hate him enough for me. At least put up a little bit of fight. DNF. So next we'll talk about library books that I haven't already talked about that I got from the library. The Fall of the Governors parts 1 and 2. You guys know I'm on the road to finishing all the Walking Dead novels, or I'm going to read until I can't read no more. Like, I have to just give it up because I don't like it. It's bad. So I finished these 2 books, and I'm going to continue into the series. Next up, we have Our Wives Under the Sea, that came in this little cute player. I don't even know what you want to call it. It's just a little player. I got it from the library, and you are supposed to just have your own line-in headphones. I had some very old ones, and one earbud worked and the other one didn't. However, it doesn't matter. I finished this. It was creepy. It gave me the willies a little bit, but I gave this one, I think it was 3.5 stars. It's about letting go of grief, and when people change during your relationship, whether it's a familial relationship or an intimate partner relationship. I understand a lot of the things that this book was trying to say and did say and got across, but there were just some empty spots, some plot holes for me, that some things just didn't add up. So we're going to, yeah, I will be looking forward to reading maybe something else from this author, but this was okay. And now the books that I actually read from my TBR. We have The Maid. I don't remember what I gave this, but I think it was around a 3. I finished it. However, I do not like when mental health is the plot device and our character or anything having to do with a disability or mental health is just the plot device. I don't like that. It leans too heavily on it. Um, yeah. So I will not be continuing in this series, but it was what it was. Next we have, I believe this is the 10th book. If I'm wrong, I'll put it on the screen. But Beverly Jenkins's contemporary novels, A Christmas to Remember, Merry Christmas, Henry Adams, and I think I gave this a 4. I enjoy Beverly Jenkins' contemporary work. In a small town, you are constantly catching up with different characters more so than others in certain books, and it is a joyful ride. And I will just continue to be on that ride. I love her writing. Next up, we have A Long Way Down by Jason Reynolds. I keep wanting to say Justin A. Reynolds. Jason Reynolds. This is contemporary written in verse, a novel in verse, and this was so good. This was so good to me, and I listened in tandem. I do that with a lot of books, especially poetry and books written in verse, because I need to know the tempo. That's another reason why I usually don't like music in books, because the characters are singing in these books or breathing or out of breath when they're dancing or when they're finished dancing, and then it's not the narrator's fault for not putting on a show, but if your character is singing, I need to hear some singing. So I know, oh yeah, okay, I get it. The words are good. The words are good. But anyway, this was really good. It's about gang violence and the aftermath that it leaves, and who created who created the burden that you are now carrying. If you are a part or not a part of said gang, and who has created this beef that you are holding. So if someone comes and offs your sister accidentally or on purpose, and then you go and off their sister, they off you. It's a repeating cycle that I don't believe a lot of people have put enough thought into when it comes to ruining their own lives or ruining others. And this one is really good, and it takes place in an elevator. So good. Next we have 16 and Pregnant. The title speaks for itself, by Lala Thomas. It's about friendship, it's about coming of age, it's about growing up, it's about parents and their children and what they do and don't talk about, what the children are comfortable talking about with their parents. These are books that I do believe our teenage girls need to read, just so that they know that whether they are the one that is pregnant or not, there are girls out there that are going through these kind of emotions, and we can give them grace. Next up, we have Monster by Walter Dean Myers. I also enjoyed this one. It's about a boy who gets locked up. I think he's about 15, 16 years old. He's about to go to jail for robbing a convenience store in New York and killing a man. And we know he didn't actually rob the store, nor did he actually kill the store clerk, but was he involved? And this is him during his trial, and he made it into a movie in his head. Because as a 16, 17-year-old, you're still a child. Regardless of some of the decisions that you make, you are still a child, and he needed a way to make sense of everything that he was going through and the way he was being seen and the way he was seeing things. So he turned it into a movie and he's narrating his story. It was so good. Next up, we have The Darkness Within Us by Trisha Levenseller. I will be unhauling this. I unhauled the first one. This one will also be unhauled. I am past the young adult or new adult stage of this kind of writing, but I did enjoy this one better than the first. Next, we have Wrong Place, Wrong Time by Jillian McAllister. I actually enjoyed this a lot. I gave this 4 stars. In my reading slump, I'm giving things 4 and 5 stars left and right. It says, how do you stop a murder after it's already happened? This is a time loop mystery thriller. And I just saw Desmond Z's video where he said he kind of got irritated because how far back do we have to go? And I just want to say you do go back far. It's about a woman who sees her son commit a murder, and the next night that she wakes up, she is back in time, one day back in time, and it hasn't happened yet. And then the next time she goes to sleep, she's a little bit further. And each time she goes to sleep, she goes back further and further and further until she catches the pieces that need to be caught in order for that to never happen. I enjoyed this book. Next, we have Let It Glow by Marissa Meyer and Joanne Levy, or Levi. I got this one from Fywell and Friends, and I was supposed to read it during Christmas time, but I do not read Christmas books during Christmas time, as you can see with Merry Christmas, Henry Adams, A Christmas to Remember by Beverly Jenkins. I don't know, it irritates me during Christmas time to read Christmas books. It's my hill, and I will die on it. But Let It Glow is about twins separated at birth, and it's a cute story. I enjoyed it. Next, we have Commotion of the Caribbean by Alex Wheatle. I enjoyed this one too. It's about a girl born into slavery. She's like now 15, 16 years old, and she has a mouth on her. And I enjoyed that she had a mouth on her because slavery can curb or could curb, a lot of actions, and you have to teach your children not to laugh, not to play, not to cry, or, not to be children. And I'm pretty sure she got her lashings for that, but her mouth is big. But this story is just following her trying to, after she sold from her home plantation, trying to get back to her family. And I enjoyed it. I finally got to The 710 Split by Carmen Lee. This was a book I read for Kenya over on Lily Reads, her book club. I was supposed to read it way back when. I think it was last year. And I never got around to it, schoolwork and other things, but I finally got to it and I didn't like it. It was boring. And the only way you knew what these characters looked like while reading the book is because they show you on the cover. It could have been fun. It could have been a fun book. It just wasn't. Next, we have House of Glass by Sarah Pekkanen. This is my first Sarah Pekkanen book, and I enjoyed this. The only thing I didn't like is that it could have went further into badass children. Give me a bad seed. Give me some of that. But the twists in this book were good because I'm knocking around the camera. I wasn't expecting some of the things that happened, and some things I was expecting and it didn't happen. And I wasn't mad at the decisions. I also gave this a 4 star, or 4.5. Can't remember, but I enjoyed this a lot. Next, we have Black Oak by Harold Green III. This is my second poetry collection by Harold Green III, and this one is celebrating Black men. And it was so funny that I was looking on the back and I was trying to see, who are some of the Black men that he was going to, celebrate in this book, in this collection. And Kevin Fredericks was on here, and I didn't put two and two together. Kevin Fredericks is Kev on Stage, and I love Kev on Stage. And when I got to it in the book, I said, "Oh, that's Kev on Stage." So he celebrates a lot of Black men in this book, some being Billy Porter, Colin Kaepernick, Killer Mike. Let's see, Dr. Henry Louis Gates Jr., his own father and grandfather. I enjoyed this book. I also have Black Roses by him. They are very good odes to our people. Next up is Catherine Center's What You Wish For. This is my first Catherine Center book, and it is very, very fluffy. It hits you with a hard-hitting topic, but it doesn't delve too deep into it. And I gave this book a 3.54. I think it was a 3.5. And I think it's because it's very obvious to the reader, if you are paying attention to what you're reading, what the MMC could have possibly been going through. Not the exact scenario, but around what he could have been going through. And our FMC seemed very oblivious to it. And that kind of pissed me off. But it's just it's a romance. But it's a book about a woman who is a librarian. She used to work at a school, and she fell in love, okay, with a man who didn't pay her any mind. They weren't in a relationship. She never told him how she felt, but she realized, I act like a fool around this man and he don't even acknowledge me. So how about I move and start my life somewhere else and get my shit together? So she does that, and then he comes to the school that she works at and becomes the new principal. Yeah. Last but not least is Hex by Emily McIntyre. I finally read the final book in the Never After series, and it was not as good as the first one. None of them were as good to me as the first one, but I finally read it. Little Mermaid reimagining with Vanessa as the FMC. And the thing that bothered me the most, again, I am an immersive reader, so audiobook and physical reading at the same time, the accents were blowing me. I was like, don't piss me off. Like, in my head, I was screaming, don't piss me off. Like, don't piss me off. Because he had the Boston accent. He's from New York, but that whole cartoony, let's make fun of it, I'm walking here kind of accent. And it was just like, what is that? And she had a Southern accent. Also, in the back of this book, in back of each one of Emily McIntyre's Never After series, you can read all about the characters, their name, where they come from, their personality. You can read all of that. And it says that she is about a 14 to a 16. Where in this book did it mention that? Anyway, there's also, I don't know, it just wasn't my favorite. Those are the books that I read in the month of April. It was more than it was. I read more in April than I did the previous months, the previous 2 months, I believe. That does not mean I'm out of my slump. I've realized that several times over. I am trying my hardest to find what I want to read because I actually do want to read. My brain is just not picking up on it. My brain and my wants are not on the same page. They're dueling. They're going back and forth. But for May, I do have some things in mind, and I hope you stick around for them. That's all I have. I will see you all in the next one. Please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe so you stay connected with me. I want to hear what you all read in April. Put it down in the comments, and I will definitely see you all in the next one. Bye.